Welcome to the Ron Sedgy Show, so why don't you?
Welcome to the PM Show, weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show. Not me. No, it's the Sultan of Safeties, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer.
Thanks so very much. Welcome to our show.
Hi, Fred.
I'm still laughing because I just saw this, the cover of the Los Angeles Times above the fold, $1.86 billion Inglewood Stadium envisioned in an artist's rendering and proposed by Stan Kroenke, owner of the Rams. And this thing looks like a plastic, omelet. Folded over, and the funny thing is, it's in Inglewood. If you've ever been over there, it's in Inglewood. It's got all these space age buildings around it. To me, it's just you talk about a fantasy.
So here's the thing: the Stan Kroenke is the owner of the St. Louis Rams.
Yes.
They were the Los Angeles Rams. You played on them when they were Los Angeles.
I did.
They went from the first or second market down to the 35th market as soon as they moved to St. Louis. The great Georgia Frontiere made that business decision.
Well, she's a businesswoman.
Yes. She is.
A bad businesswoman.
Now LA's been trying for the last, 15 years to get, longer than that, to get a football team back into Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And so here's the confusing part for me and maybe for our listeners nationwide here, Fred Dreyer, is this Kroenke wants to build this stadium. He owns the land in Inglewood, yet now the Raiders and the San Diego Chargers are trying to get a stadium built in Carson so they can go there. Will we end up with 3 teams here? Are we battling and having dueling locations for football? What's going on?
20 plus years,
yes, 2012.
Nobody wanted a stadium here. Nobody wanted the team.
And now everybody.
Suddenly now there's a stampede. It's like the Sooners, coming across the Mississippi west into a Sooner land, trying to find a place to plant a stadium. Everybody now wants to build a stadium.
Our fine landlords at the Gasca Corporation have decided they want to plow down this place that we're at. They put a stadium right here.
Well,
everybody wants to build a stadium. I'm selling my house so we could build a stadium in Glencrest Hills. How about you? You're in a very high rent district, Fred Dreyer. Maybe we could get some of the neighbors to get together and everybody go and sell out for the stadium.
We could have a bake sale. We could have some macaroons built and.
Where will it end, Fred? Where's it going to be? What do you think?
Hey, listen. I think that they're going to. I think Kroenke's coming. I think that he's going to eventually tell the league. Remember, right now, what's going on in St. Louis. They're proposing. They've already got their Lake Riverside stadium plans all built.
They're going to build him a new stadium now, right?
They're going to build him a new stadium now after 20 years of being there and saying we're not interested in building and upgrading the stadium. We don't care about the lease. We don't care about anything. So okay, fine. So here it is. He's been very nice, been very quiet. Team shows up every year, plays in the Thomas Jones Stadium, whatever the heck they call it. And next thing you know, the lease is up, and he says, "Well, I can legally walk out of here." Well, just a second now. We'll build a stadium. Let us know what you want to do. Let's have a meeting. So he'd take meetings, and nothing was ever done. So now they have a rendering. Now he goes out and buys his property in Inglewood, next to the defunct racetrack.
They get really scared.
And now they said, "Hey, he is going to leave. We better get something going." So they put a bunch of jerks in a room with some coffee. Let them stay there the weekend. They come up with a real bad stadium plan and push it out, and the mayor comes out and says, "This is what we're going to do, and we really mean it." So they petition the league to say, make sure you don't get that Kroenke can't leave, because we really are serious now about putting a new stadium here, and he's got to sell that land in Inglewood, and he can't go there, he can't do this, and the team is going to be back in St. Louis, and right now nobody knows what's going to happen. There's 3 teams and 3 stadiums.
But I'm drinking coffee with them.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Bunnies in the garden.
Yeah, rabbits are cute. Squirrels too, till they ruin your garden, feasting on your plants. Get yourself some Ortho Animal Be Gone. Animal Be Gone uses ingredients that little critters are naturally repelled by, but it won't hurt them. And the no-stink formula works without smelling horrible. Animal Be Gone from Ortho. We don't hurt them, we just chase them. Guaranteed. Learn more about how Animal Be Gone lives up to its name at Ortho.com. Use only as directed.
PM show, weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer. We have a guest on the show today, Fred.
Thank you so much. We do.
Dan Levitt is the author of In Pursuit of Tenants. Why do some teams win and other teams do not in the world of baseball? And we're going to find out. Pretty good book. You read it, huh?
I'm into it now. I'm about halfway. I've got the gist of the deal. And the first thing I did when I started cracking into this, I realized that when Major League Baseball, when the owner, president, GM, manager, that trifecta, owner, president, GM, manager.
The owner, the president, and the GM / manager.
When that trifecta kind of came together is when the league, all the teams began to solidify. The difference is, and we're going to talk to Dan about this, is why do some teams win if they all have the same infrastructure and the same business model?
Yeah, better talent.
And it comes down to the simplest thing. Knowing talent.
Really? So it is talent. That's right.
Talent.
The best talent wins, right?
It comes down
But
to
it's
that.
knowing how to manage that talent. Now it's
of
changed
course,
a little
but
bit.
You have to have talent. If you have people in your organization that know talent,
Yeah.
get talent,
Yep.
you're halfway there.
I think modern day baseball has got one more step, and I'm going to talk to Dan about this, and I'll express it to you. I think you need a good bullpen because starting pitchers pitch about 3 innings nowadays in modern day baseball, so you need a reliever for the 4th inning, the 5th inning, the 6th inning, the 7th, the 8th, and then your closer.
All right, here's the deal. Last night, I'm
was
watching.
a great Dodger game.
I'm watching the Dodgers
on that
implode.
Sony Trinitron. I was going to call you.
Just a
to see how that was.
This is my point. We're
Yeah,
going to
please.
discuss it. I wrote
Tell
it
me
down
about
here as a concomitant
Yes.
to Dan's book.
Concomitant.
Splendid book he wrote. And last night, 7th inning,
Yes.
2 out. This guy Baez from the Dodgers is on the mound.
Joan Baez, a singer.
Joan Baez, illegitimate son. He gets 2 outs right away.
Yeah, that was good.
So they're leading the Dodgers 2-1.
Yeah.
So here comes Don Mattingly.
Don Mattingly, the manager.
He's going to show us that he's now going to go lefty.
Because he's playing the percentages.
He's going to tell us he's managing. So he takes out Baez, who he doesn't want to pitch to a left-handed batter. He takes him out when the guy's throwing 97 on the black.
That's great.
He's throwing 97 on the black, striking guys out. He's in complete command of his fastball and is locating his 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And when you do that, I don't care what side of the plate you swing. I don't know if you have 3 arms and 3 bats. You're not hitting it.
Yeah,
you're not hitting it.
You're with.
So they take him out and bring in Paco. They bring in Paco.
Paco, my baker from down the street.
Yes, Paco Rodriguez.
Paco Rodriguez.
And they light him up, and the Dodgers lose the lead and eventually lose the game.
7 to
and
like
so
3.
I'm texting 2 people at once.
And you can't believe it.
I run outside onto my patio, and I'm texting. It's outside, and it was raining the other night. It was really nice.
I didn't get a text from you, but you were very physically
I was
upset.
completely animated last night because I couldn't believe how people have given up gut instinct. I'm going to talk to Dan about this. Gut instinct.
This is a key point. I love you for this.
Knowing baseball, realizing, something normally, 99% of the people who read the book on baseball pitching, these managers, would bring in Paco, take this guy out, and let people know that I'm using my bullpen because that's why we got him, gosh darn it. We're paying Paco a lot of money out there. So let's get Baez off the mound, bring Paco in so he can walk a guy or hit a guy or have them light him up, which they did. He gives up the hit. They lose. They get the game's tied
baseball.
up 2-2. They go behind 3-2, and I'm watching this and I'm saying, and they keep doing it throughout the rest of the league. Now Paco is taken out. They bring a right-hander in. Then they get him out. They bring another guy in. And I said, why don't you just go back and get Baez and leave and go back and get him? He's probably in the bathroom right now. Go back and get him. Tell him to put his shoes on. You know, he could have got these guys out in the street clothes.
Here's the thing, Fred Dryer. It's Fred Dryer here in the PM Show Weekend Edition. You know, people argue with me when I say that Tommy Lasorda arguably is one of the greatest managers of baseball. Here's the thing about Tommy Lasorda. Say what you will. The guy's in the Hall of Fame, but he had gut instinct. He knew when to bring up a pinch hitter. He knew when to pull a pitcher. He'd keep a pitcher in there longer if he had to. He'd let the pitcher talk to him and see if he could go with it. That is gone from the face of baseball
Completely
nowadays.
Gone.
Completely gone. It is, and it makes the game unfun
listen,
to watch.
Listen, I'm a Don Mattingly fan. I don't say this because it's easy to jump on people. It's not about losing. They got 160 more games.
Everybody does it.
I'm not worried about it. Everybody does it. This is one of there's common sense and reason, and then there's baseball common sense and reason. And it doesn't work. You know, it's common sense. It's people. It's realizing Baez, who was a surprise to make the team. I didn't think he would, but they kept him on the team. And you know something? This guy
looking pretty good.
Started the seventh inning and got these guys out. Greinke did a good job for 6 innings. They bring this guy in for 7. I said, let him pitch to the left-hander. I don't care if he's right-handed. Let him pitch to the left-handed batter and let him paint this guy right back into the dugout. And they didn't. They got him out, and they brought in Paco, who has a delivery that's slow as molasses, and he throws the ball over the plate, and the guy lights him up, and the Dodgers lose the lead. They gain it back 3-3 with the home run by Rodriguez. Or Adrian Gonzalez.
Can you imagine
then they lose the game 7-3.
Can you imagine back in the day with the likes of Bob Gibson, Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax, even Nolan Ryan, a little bit even newer? You sit there and you wonder if they would have pulled those guys out to play the percentages to go with a right-hander when a lefty is coming up to bat, those guys wouldn't have gotten the complete games they got. They would have had nowhere near the records. They would not have been the superstars. You never touched a Sandy Koufax or a Don Drysdale until they really ran out of gas. And nowadays, you know, Greinke pitched a strong 6. Why don't they just, here's an idea for you. Why don't they, since they're trying to shorten baseball, why don't they change the game from 9 innings to 6? Then we'd have a starting pitcher that could pitch a complete game. I just thought of this right now. Maybe we can run this by our guest here today, Dan Levitt.
Let me get this right now.
So see if you got it right.
You go from 9 innings to 6 innings.
6 innings is a complete game. And it's a game. You play just 6 innings. You don't play 9.
Well, that's girl softball, is what you're talking about.
That's what I think they should do because the pitchers are girl
crazy.
pitchers.
You're completely
No, they
crazy.
only pitch 6 innings. We'll get tons of complete games.
Well, how about 3 innings? I mean,
well, that may happen later on because as the big money comes up there.
But the overview is this. You know, it comes down to people. It comes down to managing. It comes down to getting the right people, and it comes down to players executing. You know, the last couple of games here with San Diego being in LA now, and talking about the Matt Kemp, controversy of why you got rid of him and all stuff. Hey, look, Matt Kemp's in San Diego. He's had 2 pretty good games. They split those games. Matt Kemp's going to have his career, whatever it's going to be. It's probably going to be a good, favorable career for him. He's gone now. They got rid of him for the right reasons. And so let's move on. But they did the right thing as a management. They pulled the plug on this guy, which that's a hell of a move, you know, to do that. And they did it, and it's going to work out for them. But you know, this is a matchup, this lefty righty stuff. If we're going to go through this the entire year to let us know that we're going to go lefty and righty on a righty and a lefty, if we're going to play that,
they will.
And let that be the driving decision making. I've got big problems with it. And last night in the 7th inning with 2 out, when Joan Baez on the mound, I looked at this and I said, Donnie, leave the guy in. Ask the catcher. Ask Grandal. Ask him, how's he throwing? Is he locating?
Right.
You know, he went to the mound and he had his mind made up. As soon as he went out on the mound, he had his hand extended before he got to the mound. And I looked at this, I said, this is a dumb mistake. This is not a good mistake. We're going to come right back with Daniel Levitt.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day, and little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Welcome back to the PM Show, weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn, star of our show, the Sultan of Safeties, the all-pro defensive end, the acting legend, Land's End Hunter, Crisis, just last season on NBC, the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer. And
thank you so much.
On the show here today, we're talking some baseball. I've just thrown out an idea here. Since baseball starting pitchers can't seem to pitch 9 innings, very few do make complete games, and they want to speed up the game of baseball. Why not just cut the games down to 6 or 7 innings, and there you go. Game is sped up. Guys pitch complete games. I solve 2 problems with 1. Now, I may not be the genius because our genius on the line is Dan Levitt, the author of In Pursuit of Tenants. So Dan, Dan is he's kind of into marketing and money and capital markets, and he's had finance experience, but he is a kind of a baseball fanatic, and he's written some books. He wrote Ed Barrow, the Bulldog, who built the Yankees' first dynasty. He wrote Paths to Glory, how great baseball teams got that way. He's been with baseball research organizations. He's won awards, and he has written this book, and I'm telling you, it's great. It's called In Pursuit of Tenants. Dan Levitt, welcome to the broadcast.
That was a great introduction.
Thank you.
He's got a lot of them.
I said off the cuff. It was off the cuff, and it was the way I feel, Dan. And I mean, you bring a good look to this, and, we've all heard about the movie Moneyball, and people say, oh, well, that's the way to go. And then you talk to Tommy Lasorda about Moneyball, and his head will jerk around in a 360, and he'll go, how many World Series did they win with that Moneyball? And he'll go off for about 20 minutes on it. So tell us about it. How do the great teams get to be great?
Well, what we found, Mark Armour, my co-author, and I, what we found is that teams that sort of succeed for a long time and really create sort of a dynasty over quite a long time figure out some way to institutionalize some sort of advantage. And it's anything from sort of being the first in analytics, and certainly it helped the A's, although you're right, they certainly haven't made it to the World Series yet. But teams have always been trying to do this. If you look back in the 20s, the Yankees really in the 20s with Ed Barrow were the first team to kind of invent the general manager concept. Before the 1920s, teams didn't have general managers. Either the owner or the manager built the team. And then in the 30s, you had Branch Rickey and the Cardinals coming up with the farm system, and the Cardinals were the best team in the 30s and the 40s in the National League. And, you get to the late 40s, and Branch Rickey then with the Dodgers had the courage to go sign Jackie Robinson and bring in black players, and obviously there's a whole lot of stuff going on there. But what we talk about in the book, what the part that we focused on was just that the teams that signed the black players were the best teams in the National League. The Dodgers, the Giants, and the Braves basically won all the pennants in the 50s. And so there's lots of you need to sort of find some way to get ahead of your competition.
Dan, this is Fred Dreyer. Welcome to the show. Thanks so much for taking the time. And going through this, what's interesting is that each generation seems to have there's been a leader of teams, a couple, 2 or 3 teams, as you say, Yankees, Dodgers, Giants, Pirates in the early days, Braves. All these teams found a different way to improve their team, while the others were still searching for it. And so many of these teams broke out and established what has become today, a way of doing business in baseball, meaning all of the teams now kind of know what everybody else knows, right. And so what is it today, bringing this thing current? What is it today that separates the Giants, who've won 3 of the last 5 World Series? What has separated these teams from the pack? Why does the Chicago Cubs, go 100 years without winning anything?
I would just say first that I think that today is probably as hard a time as it's ever been to differentiate yourself. Every team has enough money to compete, and every team has really smart front offices. Obviously, some are better than others, and teams have more money than others. But in general, it's not like the Yankees in the 50s, where in the American League you had 3 teams that basically were out of it every year. That being said, I think one of the things the Giants did is they were at the forefront of the marriage of this whole new video revolution that's coming through these parks. All these parks have lots of video cameras that are doing everything from this pitch FX, where they're looking at every pitch, and the high-speed computing, where you can finally digitize all of this video. And so I think that one of the things the Giants did is they were at the forefront of this. They were also at the forefront of keeping their pitchers from getting injured. And in both 2010 and 2012, their pitchers were amazingly healthy. Of course, last year they had the injury to Kane, and so it's just...
Hang on here a second, Dan Levitt. Dan Levitt, author of In Pursuit of Tenants, our guest. We're going to take a quick break. It's the PM Show, Weekend Edition on Sports with Fred Dreyer.
The showroom at South Point presents illusionist Rick Thomas. Mind-gripping effects that will have you mesmerized. April 10th through the 12th. Is it magic? Illusion. Is it real? Tickets are vanishing fast. Conjure yours now by the magic of going online at southpointcasino.com or charge by phone 702-797-8055. Rick Thomas at the South Point.
I want to start out with some of my songs that go back to my very first recording. Don't it make my brown eyes
The showroom at South Point presents Crystal Gale, April 24th through the 26th. Tickets available now. In person at the South Point box office, online at southpointcasino.com, or charge by phone 702-797-8055. Don't miss Crystal Gale at the South Point.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Did you know that with a bachelor's degree, on average, you can make almost twice as much over a lifetime than a person with just a high school diploma? Yes! According to the U.S. Census Bureau, you can make almost twice as much. Going back to college is now easier than ever. There are select online colleges that provide laptops to their students. In fact, there are thousands of college programs on your laptop. You can go to college anywhere and everywhere right from a laptop. Call My College Laptop and you can find hundreds of programs from accredited colleges and universities nationwide. Start a new career in law enforcement, business, information technology, healthcare, and hundreds of others. Call My College Laptop to find an online college that will provide you with a laptop. In no time at all, you can double your earning potential. Double your earning potential. Call now. 1-800-582-7531. That's 800-582-7531. 800-582-7531.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
CRN listeners, don't forget What's Cooking in Wine with certified wine educator and master sommelier Michael Jordan, coming your way every Friday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Time right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio. You'll find out about the latest trends in wine, food, and the good lifestyle. And by the way, Michael Jordan can talk to those of you that are really into wine and those that are maybe just discovering wine. The great educator Michael Jordan, What's Cooking on Wine, Friday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific on CRN. It's the PM show, weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn, along with the amazing star of television and football legend, the one and only Mr. Fred Dryer. And one comment before you come back in here, Fred. A lot of people don't know it. Fred started his sports career as a baseball pitcher. He loves baseball, looks at it, so that's why we've got this great guest that we have.
Yes, we have a great guest, Daniel L. Levitt, who wrote a terrific book along with Mark L. Armour, A-R-M-O-U-R, In Pursuit of Tenants. You can get it to a Nebraska Press. And
bookstores everywhere, Dan, you can get it?
Can you get that?
Bookstores everywhere should have it, and your favorite online site, too.
Amazon, everybody's got that. Dan, we were talking about, you mentioned the Giants and their notable explosion of the use of video.
Yeah.
And, I was over at Dodger Stadium a year or so ago with a friend of mine, and they were taking us through the new construction improvements of the clubhouse and in the training facilities, and they took us into this one little area there that was used as a video room, and we talked to the video guy. I had no idea how much video today is used, especially in the pitching department, where they and hitting, and it's really amazing, isn't it? How these guys have taken this sport and really got it down. They've got they have a section for the Dodgers for everybody in their division. They play each team in their division 19 times. So they got the Giants broken down of all of their at-bats from last year. They've got the pitching broken down for all of their pitches for the last year. And every time they get ready to go into a series, they go to this video. And it's really fascinating.
Yeah, I think video is the next revolution, and I think the teams who are at the forefront of that are going to excel. And there's sort of ancillary benefits that come too. This whole using the video to watch the pitchers. Well, one of the byproducts of that is now we can measure catcher framing. I don't think people, when maybe a couple people, but I don't think most people realized that this whole catcher framing thing that is now such a huge deal, sort of whether the catcher can grab the strikes and how much does each catcher add, that came out of the pitcher video revolution. So, I think there's stuff that's coming that teams are doing, that the smart teams are doing that's I think going well beyond where we are today. And
let me ask you guys one question here, because I got to jump in here. I'm a guy that just believes in your gut feel, and so the great catchers always were framers. We never knew it, but they were great. They were the exceptional catchers, great defensive The great pitchers can paint those corners that you were talking about, Fred Dreyer. So I'll tell you what I think the difference is with the Giants. The 2 words, Bruce Bochy, a great manager that's able to use maybe that video or whatever, but you got to have great guys there. Come on.
Well, absolutely. But again, I think what I was saying, and I think I unfortunately was talking into your break, was that the Giants pitchers have been unbelievably healthy in 2010 and 2012. All of their starters pretty much pitched the whole year. And I think part of that is because they were using the video to try and manage their pitcher motions and keep their pitchers healthy. So I agree, but I think the video helps in a lot of ways that you don't necessarily just see.
Well, I think not only that is that when I asked the video guy there at Dodger Stadium, I said, "Gee, this is really fascinating." And he says, "Yeah, hitters come in and use it. Pitching coaches, the catchers certainly come in, and how everybody relies on it, and how everybody on the team knows who's studying video and who is not studying video. And so when you get into a slump, the people who pop out of those slumps hit the video. The people who stay in the slumps don't necessarily watch video." And it was really an insight as to how much the team relies on a technology that as soon as a guy strikes out, if he's the first guy up and he strikes out, he runs right back into the dugout, into the video room, and watches his at bat before he goes back out in the outfield. I mean, it's really amazing how the technology has really helped these teams. But yet, everybody knows that. Every team knows that, and at the same time, not all teams, do it. And the difference is as what your book says, is it comes down to like McGraw, the great Yankee manager. He didn't know an awful lot about a lot of things, but he had a great gut feeling of how to speak to the team and how to manipulate men and how to talk. He understood people, understood the human element of it. There's that, and then there's the hard fastened elements of technology.
Right. There's always going to be room for genius in a manager or greatness in players. So I just think this is sort of, to a certain degree, helps you measure it. Like, there's no question that the great catchers were always great at framing it. To some degree, the video allows us to measure that. What else is
interesting is that in this just last off season, the Dodgers traded Matt Kemp and Hanley Ramirez and D. Gordon, the second baseman, all players who were productive and popular here, and they got rid of them. And because they brought in a new hierarchy, they brought in a new president and a new general manager. And they now began to swing and change the business model of how they see players, the type of players that they want. So they went out and got, Jimmy Rollins from Philadelphia at second base. They went out and got Howie Kendrick at second base, shortstop at second base from the Angels, and they started manipulating the team. And one of the stats that they quoted was, he said, as we go through the league and in our statistics, we know what teams and what specific players hit with runners in scoring position. And those players aren't the big home run hitters. Those guys aren't the guys that make all the money. But those are the key elements.
I buy that.
Those are the key guys that make your lineup work. And the other thing is injuries. How many times are these guys you pay a lot of money to? How many times do they miss the lineup? One of the toughest things is that Mattingly and a lot of these coaches did not have all their players to establish a consistent lineup, and that really, really hurt them. Can you stay with us a little bit more, Dan?
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to come back with Dan Levitt. So, folks, whatever you do, don't go away.
The book is called In Pursuit of Tenants. The author is Dan Levitt. He's our guest. We're talking baseball. That's Fred Dreyer. I'm Michael Horn. It's the PM Show Weekend Edition on Sports.
We are perfectionists. We do it right and don't stop until the job is done. We build commercial zero-turn mowers with maneuverability, power, and comfort. Who are we? We are Kubota. Now, during our More Power to You sales event, you can get long-term financing as low as 0% APR on new commercial-grade Z700 series mowers. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
I'm your pet. Woof, meow. And now that it's getting warmer, I'll be getting out a lot more. Yep, where the fleas and ticks are. Good thing 1-800-PET-MEDS offers the same flea, tick, and heartworm medications as the vet, but for up to 50% less. 1-800-PET-MEDS also has fast free shipping and 100% satisfaction guarantee. So call or go to 1-800-PETMEDS.com today and protect me, your pet. Free shipping on orders over $49.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control of your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problem now by calling the experts at U.S. Tax Shield and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, so call now. 800-351-8614. That's 800-351-8614. U.S. Tax Shield. 800-351-8614.
PM Show, it's the weekend edition on sports. I'm Michael Horn, the star of our show, the Sultan of Safeties, the all-pro defensive end, one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer, our guest, author Dan Levitt. The book is called In Pursuit of Tenants, and basically, if we can paraphrase here, Dan kind of looks through and says how the marriage of the owner, the presidents, the general manager, and the manager on the field kind of formed the nucleus that teams did, and then talent came into place. And why do some teams win over others? You guys said video. So Dan, are you telling me that the Houston Astros don't use video and neither do the Cubs, et cetera, the guys that don't win?
Well, I'd say two things. One, I think both the Cubs and the Astros have rebuilt their teams and their front offices in the last couple of years, and I think both are using video a lot. I don't want to oversell the video. I think that's one of the recent things that teams have tried to do to get ahead. Well, I mean, the Cubs, for example, have hired several people to set up this mental skills program as a way to help develop their players. I think Boston and I think Tampa are both trying to do neurological evaluations of their players. So there's all kinds of stuff that these teams are trying. I think what's going to be interesting is, what's actually going to work. It's, as outsiders, it's hard to know what's going to work.
Yeah.
I think teams are.
Here's what I buy. Here's what I buy is something that Fred said and that you've alluded to here, Dan Levitt, and that is, I do think I like the analytics when you want to put together a team that's going to win. Instead of guys going for the fences, I love guys that will knock runs in and do the job when they do it. And I think there your analytics fit in to get the right kind of team. And when you say they rebuild in Boston or in Chicago or whatever, that's kind of what you're saying. They're trying to put together a different team, right?
Right. I mean, I think that the front office is clearly, trying to look at new ways of figuring out how to get the best players.
And I think what you quoted Branch Rickey in saying that there's no replacement for the urge to win.
Yes.
The ability for a manager to lead the organization.
There you go.
You have the history of ownership who kind of knew a little bit about the sport and go after and draft. I think the Pittsburgh Pirate coach, the owner, he would go out and he would scout players, and he was really great at that. But then he turned it over to somebody else, and then the general manager came along, and then next thing you know, you have kind of like a business model infrastructure, and you start to get results, and it's based on having a farm system, based on knowing baseball talent, harnessing those people. I think when the Branch Rickey came to the Dodgers in '48, he got O'Malley to buy Vero Beach and talk to him about putting all 700 of the baseball players that were under contract professionally
together,
for the Dodgers together, so they could all be in one spot. And they could all be together as a family, and it united people. It was brilliant.
Was that a big deal, Dan Levitt?
Yeah, it was. I mean, one of the things we talk about is what we'll call the way, the Dodger way, where they taught everything the same throughout the whole system. And Rickey really started that in St. Louis with the Cardinal way. And one of the things that the Cardinals, I think, have done why they've been so successful lately is they've sort of brought back this Cardinal way.
I agree with you.
Where they teach the same thing every way through the minors. So everybody's thrown to the cutoff man the same way. They're all executing the hit and run the same way. And I think that carries through. Just the coming from the minors, and the importance of winning and what they're trying to do. So yes, absolutely, this whole idea of that's another way.
Cardinals have not made that many changes. They still have the guys there. They take somebody like Pat Metheny as a manager that knows the way. I'm buying that one, Dan. That's a good one. What about negatives? What's the thing that destroys? You think the pitch count or the agents have kind of destroyed the game and makes the team lose because the pitchers don't want to hurt their arms?
I don't know that pitch counts. I mean, I'm not sure that pitch counts are the right way, but I think people need to figure out how to keep pitchers healthy. And we being the general baseball fans, the organizations, I don't think we yet know how to keep pitchers healthy. But I think pitch counts were a reasonable way to try and do it. I'm just not sure that they've really worked. But
I don't think they.
Healthy,
I don't think they. I don't
another
think.
thing.
Yeah.
I think if a team figures out a way to keep their pitchers healthy, that's another sort of differentiator that I think that a team could try and do.
Yeah, I don't think that the pitch count thing. I think that came around. When you consider, that Walter Alston abused Sandy Koufax professionally.
They won a lot of pennants in World Series, though, didn't they?
He threw a 17-inning game once.
Yeah.
I mean, they had no bullpen. They had, if you were a Dodger reliever or any reliever during those days in the late 50s, you're out in the bullpen. You might as well have been running out for cigarettes.
Come on, they had Eddie Roebuck. They had
but the
Clem
point
Labine.
was that it wasn't in the business model. It wasn't in the business
Phil
model.
Regan.
Okay, Sandy, you're pitching
Peronoski.
a two-hitter. You're going to pull you in the seventh. They're going to ride this guy right into the bottom
But that's
of the
where they
ninth.
won those games, though, Dan, and now they have the Dodgers has taken them. They haven't won since '88.
No, but my point is that's not a business model. What's happened is that there's so much money now, and you can blow your arm out by throwing 1,000 pitches or 2 pitches. And so the element is that what is it that these teams do that other teams don't that consistently puts them in a position to win, and it's knowing people. Wouldn't you say that's true, Dan?
I think there's no doubt that the best organizations do have what I'll call sort of these soft skills, an ability to hire good people, the capacity to change to adjusting circumstances, the ability to, to create a winning attitude in your players. I mean, all of that stuff, I think all of that stuff is important. I guess my point is that teams that have succeeded over the long term,
Dan, we got to run.
Some other advantage.
Dan, hang on here. We're going to
run.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Hold on.
Hi, folks. This is Larry Minetti, and many of you out there suffer from skin problems. Well, I've been telling you for months how to solve that problem. It's called Herpanicin. It's the most unique and effective formula on the market. It cleans your skin from the inside out. It gets rid of all kinds of acne on your back, your neck, your face, so you can feel and you could look like a movie star. Herpanicin is a natural supplement. It was created by Dr. Wayne Diamond and his staff, and trust me, this really works. I've been on these supplements for over a year now and never had a problem. There is no reason in the world to wake up and be afraid to look in the mirror. You trust Larry. Just try it. Call 888-467-4200. 888-467-4200.
Have you ever considered adding a home security system but thought it would be too expensive? Here's the good news. There's never been a more affordable time to help protect your home, valuables, and your loved ones. You can now get a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home, your authorized ADT dealer, with the installation of a new ADT monitored system. Here's even better news. Your new system, worth $850, is free. You pay just a $99 installation charge and purchase monthly monitoring for less than $2 a day. Call Protect Your Home today at 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. Get the peace of mind that comes with owning an ADT monitored system, plus a $100 Visa card from Protect Your Home. Call now, 1-866-669-8954. That's 1-866-669-8954. 36-month monitoring contract required. General terms and conditions apply. Visit protectyourhome.com/terms.
Homeowners, now is the season to be thinking about your roof, because all it takes is one storm to turn a small roof problem into a major leak. If it's time for a new roof, call Sears at 888-465-9720. You can save $500 if you call right now. Sears licensed, fully insured contractors can get your roofing job done right. Just call 888-465-9720. Sears has a variety of shingles and styles that are built for long-lasting performance, and you'll save $500 if you call now. So call Sears for a free in-home consultation at 888-465-9720. Hurry, offer ends soon. Not available in all areas. Installation provided by Sears authorized licensed contractors. License information available upon request. That's Sears Roofing. Call right now and save $500. Call 888-465-9720. 888-465-9720. Call Sears now and get that roof repaired. Call 888-465-9720. Boy, this show has flown by. It's the weekend edition of the PM show on sports with the one and only Mr. Fred Dreyer. I'm Michael Horn. And our guest, he's been just fabulous here, the author Dan Levitt. The book is called In Pursuit of Tenants. And Dan, in this book, and it's a great book, you go through what makes the great teams a little bit better and the edges. And we've tried to touch on it here a little bit more. We've all seen the Moneyball movie, as we mentioned. But you're saying those teams that want to rebuild, I mean, that's the deal. Some guys lose, they rip the whole team apart, and they start to build again. And that's maybe the way that they play for that particular game. And that's what's done. Am I right?
Yeah, I mean, different teams do it different ways. I mean, one of the guys we talk about a lot in the book is Pat Gillick, the general manager. First he was general manager of the Blue Jays, and when he was building that team, he was one of the first to open up the Dominican Republic. He was friends with Epi Guerrero, and they really did the first Dominican academy in the late 70s, early 80s. So that was another way of trying to institutionalize an advantage. And many of the best players on the Blue Jays in the 80s were from the Dominican Republic. They won 86 games, at least 86 games, 11 years in a row. So that's That's the kind of advantage that teams are looking for.
It really is interesting. I think the Dodgers came down to Cuba. Were they in Cuba the first? They were the first ones in Cuba, and they passed out all their Dodger stuff. So every kid growing up who was 5 years of age grew up with Dodger paraphernalia around him. So they got the benefit of going down there and signing a bunch of Cuban players.
That true, Dan?
I don't know that story, but it certainly wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. It may be the Dominican, maybe not Cuba, but maybe the Dominican. But I know
autographed pictures of Tommy Lasorda went down there.
They were the first.
Everybody wanted to join up. Thank you, Dan, for that courtesy laugh over there. Okay, where do we get this book? Because if there's a baseball fan, if you are a baseball fan, or there's someone in your life that loves baseball, this is the book. Fred's been raving about it. The book is called In Pursuit of Tenants. The author, our guest, Dan Levitt, Levitt. Where can we get it, Dan?
It should be at all the bookstores. It came out officially April 1st, but it's been out now for a couple of weeks, so hopefully it's in the bookstores. And you can certainly get it online at whatever online spot you like to visit.
Who's winning it all this year, Dan?
Who has the best video?
Come on, Dan.
I'm going to sound like a homer, but I like the Dodgers.
You like them, huh?
Well, I do.
I do like the strength up the middle so far. I like Kendrick and I like Jimmy Rollins. I would tell you that's good. We'll see if that kid can hit out there in the center field.
Yeah, they have a couple of little soft spots in there they need to develop, but I like them too. I like what they did. I like the message they sent to the rest of the players. When you talk about they always ask the players, "Gee, what do you think about Kemp and all these guys leaving?" And they all said, "Well, the subtext of all the answers is, it's a better clubhouse."
Hey, Dan,
and that's all a part of. Believe me, that has a tremendous thing to do with winning baseball games.
And Dan, if you're the manager, do you pull Baez out in the 7th inning last night when he was like striking everybody out and bring in the righty?
I'm not that close to that game last night. Okay. I'm here in Minneapolis.
I know, Dan. I just want to try to get you to stick your neck out here a little bit, just like Fred Dreyer does.
We were yelling at the TV. This lefty-righty thing. Look, there's common sense and there's baseball common sense.
That's it. Yes, Dan.
In Minneapolis, we're just hoping we score a run. I think we've been shut out now the first
That's what I'm going to say. You said you like the Dodgers. I mean, come on, you're in Twinsville there. Come on.
Well, I'm a season ticket holder, but that doesn't mean I think they're going to win this
year. Okay, well, there you go. All right.
Hey, Dan, thanks so very much for joining us. It was great spending the time with you. Folks, get out there, In Pursuit of Tenants. It's a terrific book. Dan Levitt and Mark
Levitt's the man.
Armour. So
you can email Fred Dreyer. It's Fred Dreyer, Dreyer, at crntalk.com. You also can follow him on Facebook, facebook.com/The Real Fred Dreyer. He tweets all the time, Fred_Dreyer, Dreyer. Final thoughts from Fred?
Well, I want to thank our guest, Dan Levitt, again for spending this much time with us. It's a great idea. We kicked off the baseball season the correct way. It's a great book, In Pursuit of Tenants. Get out there and get it. We'll see you next time, folks.
Because that was your theme. Are you tired of hearing your favorite talk radio show sound like this? What if you could hear your favorite shows in crystal clear, high-definition digital sound? Well, with CRN Digital Talk Radio's 6 channels of high-definition radio, you can now hear all of your favorite hosts like you've never heard them before in CRN HD. The difference is amazing. Catch your favorite political hosts like Dennis Prager, Tom Hartman, Barry Farber, and so many more. Entertainment and lifestyle programming like The Robert Conrad Show, The What's Cooking Show, and The What's Cooking on Wine Show, all